You're watching HelloNation.
All right. Welcome to the HelloNation podcast, your voices of good news. I am Tim Epner, and joining us today from the home of the Sock Monkey and the All-American Girls professional baseball team, the Rockford Peaches, welcome State Representative of the 67th District, Maurice West, and Gabrielle Lyon, the chair of the Illinois America 250 Commission and the executive director of the Illinois Humanities. This is part of the Illinois America 250 initiative. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much.
We love to start with good news. So, Representative West, what is something good?
This is the month my wife turns 50, July 29th and July 3rd, and that's in a couple of days. My parents have their 50th wedding anniversary, and they're celebrating it or going on vacation. That was my gift to them. So, yeah, pray for my pocketbook. But they're enjoying themselves.
Some personal good news. You know, I've got my eye on, of course, the summer and the commemorative season from Juneteenth all the way to, at least for us in Illinois, our state fair. But personally, I am feeling so good about the graduation of my daughter from college and my nephew, whom we're raising from high school. And woo!
Congratulations to the both of them, and congratulations to you. That's a big milestone in life.
Yeah, that's
Two
huge.
big ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we love that.
Things to be thankful for.
A story like that, this is why we're doing it. The Illinois Voices 250 celebrates the people, stories, and experiences that shape the state. We hope that by capturing reflections and memories from our representatives, this project creates a lasting record of who you are today and who you hope to become tomorrow. So I'm going to start with you, Representative West. Tell us a little bit about Rockford and how your community is commemorating this 250th.
So great question. I've lived in Rockford since I was 5 years old, and I'm 41 now, so 36 years. And I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly of this city. And I'm really excited for the mere fact that in the here and now, we're working on some good things. And one thing that we're good at is we're good at celebrating things. Our area code is 815. So August 15th, we celebrate. So we're going hard for Illinois 250 and for our nation's 250th birthday. One thing I'm excited about that we're doing at one of our historic sites at the Coronado Performing Arts Center with the Rockford Symphony Orchestra, we're doing a piece that is the portrait of Lincoln, and it shares some music along with some words that he expressed, especially during the Gettysburg Address. And I have the honor of being the narrator. There's going to be a lot of people there, and it's going to be a good celebration. And of course, the 4th of July parades. But we have our our 250th flags flying high. So yeah, we're excited over here in Rockford.
Have you ever done something like that on stage where you're delivering such powerful messages?
Well, I don't like to toot my own horn, but
Toot toot.
toot toot. Yeah, it's such an honor they picked me up to do this a couple years back for a different rendition, and just to go be in the same room, and in this case it was a theater, be in the same room with folks who are there to celebrate. You know, we have a lot going on in our nation and a lot of divisive conversations, but we were all on one accord when we came in that room, and that's to celebrate our country. So it felt good.
Celebrating always feels good. I love that. And it's got to be, as a representative of an area, to look out and see a crowd happy, like that's got to be a big one for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
especially these days.
Absolutely. Well, I know that's one of the reasons that the Illinois Voices 250 is there. It's a recording day. So what are some of the stories that you're hoping to hear? What are the stories you're hearing? And then better yet, if you weren't the representative, what story would you tell about Rockford?
Great question. And our recording days went phenomenal. And there was a theme that we were able to expound on with one of our panels. So we had youth we had Latino leaders, we had faith leaders, and then our veteran leaders. And in all four panels, we talked about the L word, love. My Latino leaders were saying, if we would just love this side of town by ensuring the resources are there. Our young people were saying, I love Rockford because the adults here love me back. They invested in me at a young age instead of telling me to shoot, go away, it's not your turn yet. Faith leaders, they were all about love. And the conversation was real about it. Our veterans were talking about how we need to show love for our military people when they come back home. They're doing the work to keep us safe from both domestic and foreign attacks. When they come home, we need to ensure that we are thanking them by ensuring that the resources are there. Resources are there. So love was the underlying message, and that's what I'm really excited about because as we reach 250 and we're in tumultuous times in our country, um, our young people are saying that love will bring us back. Democracy is going to be just fine.
Gabrielle, were you there or did you get a chance to hear these stories? Because this is what we're doing. And this is the fun part that we've done. This is our third episode with the Illinois America 250. We're hearing amazing stories of love, of growing, of changes, of community. So how is it for you and how has it been?
I mean, I think what Representative West just shared really says it all. I mean, the first thing is in every one of our 102 counties, people, elected officials, volunteers are stepping up to say, how do we want to mark this moment? It's beyond a birthday party and it's important. We feel a sense of responsibility. But in what Representative you just talked about, the thing I really love about it is every single one of those people you made and protected space for this very meaningful conversation to explore challenging ideas. But most of all, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, especially 50 years from now, those young people, they're going to say, when someone says to them, well, what did you do for the 250th? Do you even remember? And they're going to say, yeah, I was part of a conversation where people asked me what I thought, what I cared about. I felt seen. I felt like I could contribute to my community. And I think that's really the question of the day. Yes, it's celebration. It's also about the invitation to make meaningful memories with each other.
Yeah, that's good.
So, kind of going off of that, and not just the kids, but how else have the other people of Rockford worked to make good on the ideals of the Declaration of Independence?
Well, as we all know, the most common quote from the Declaration of Independence is our unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Um, the one part of that really resonates with me is that pursuit of happiness. Here in Rockford, we're allowing people to simply pursue. And so whatever that may mean. And we are finding ourselves becoming less judgmental because a lot of times we criticize when people's pursuit does not look like mine. My pursuit towards happiness was different from yours, and I need to honor and respect that. Rockford is finding ourselves in a place where we are doing that. We are more of a welcoming city. We are more of a forgiving city. We are finding ways to restore people. We're finding ways to flank the issues, and with that flanking, finding ways to build hope and back into the lives of the people. Because if you have hope, that's when you find the time to figure out what the value of your own dollar could be, what your own contribution to your city can be. And so we've been doing that leading up to this 250th birthday celebration, and so of our nation. And so I'm looking forward to the July 4th parade. I'm looking forward to the fireworks because we've become, especially not even while I've been in office, but even as I've been growing up here in Rockford, I'm more of a city that allows people to simply pursue whatever that happiness looks like. And that's what generates more people to come to Rockford. If we do that and throughout our country, allow people to pursue, which is our unalienable right, it's what we is the foundation of our values as a country. That's when we will find the time for grace. That's when we'll find the time for growth. That's when we'll allow for our country to just flourish.
one of the things I love about Rockford is, imagine if you've never been to Rockford, and I imagine many of your listeners will not, Tim.
At least not yet.
As you come onto Rockford, you suddenly you descend down into this exquisite river valley. And Rockford is really tucked into a geography that is exquisitely beautiful. It's quite Midwest, like straight up Midwest. The glaciers went around it. And so then you come into this city that is not just diverse, but historic contributions. I believe Jane Addams graduated from college in Rockford. And when you think
She
about
did.
the legacy of Jane Addams, that formative moment for that young woman's life and perspective, Rockford. When we think about the modern day civil rights movement, the organizers in Rockford are still upholding and bringing forth the next generation. And so I just think of Rockford in this moment, in this state, in this country, as being, exactly the kind of place where if you want to know what democracy has and can look like, it's in practice right there. Not perfect,
Right.
but reflective. It's a reflective patriotism that's underway, and it's just an incredible place. Rockford's an amazing, amazing place.
Well, I did my little bit of research before, and I had to talk about the Rockford Peaches. I'll go into that in a minute. They also talked about exactly what you described: an incredible beauty, a lot of green space, and rich gardens. Actually, a destination for that, right? Is that gardens that you have there and the beauty. So, as I was asking that, I love that. A big thing is the pursuit. You talked about that, Representative West. Why? What is your why to wanting to be a representative of the 67th district? What was there something? Again, we're here for the stories. So what is the story? Like, why did you do it? And, being that you've been there 36 years, what made you go, now's my time?
That's a very great question. And as I think about it, I spent a majority of that time trying to leave Rockford. Sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees, and people transplants to Rockford can speak on the beauty. But as I grew up, I was trying to leave it. But when I got to this point of accepting that my calling, our assignment in the here and now was to be in Rockford, that's when I took the the blinders off and fell back in love with my city. And I know I've been using the love a lot, but I genuinely love the people, even if they don't love me back. But the overall mission is for the betterment of our communities, leaving our world better before we leave it. And so that's why I stick to it. We're really close to Chicago, and I was just there yesterday, and I love Chicago. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people in Chicago. It's stressful. And when you come to Rockford, it takes you only 15 minutes to get from one side of the city to the other, no matter what. And there's camaraderie, and it's there's a quiet glow to our city that allows us to focus on what's important. We even are in a position where we prioritize mental health of our community. We raised our taxes on the day we shut down from COVID in 2020 to put money into mental health programs, and it passed 60-40. That's what we value here in Rockford and the county of Winnebago, is the people, and so that's what makes us great.
I love that. I got to say that there is something special about Rockford. And so I told you I'm upstate New York. I'm Rochester, and it's very funny because I think so many people in the same way wanted to leave. I think there was something in me that wanted to as well, right? Where I'm like, oh, there's something bigger, and I want to go to a real city. And you as you get older, you reflect, you go, I'm in a very real city, and I love watching it grow. But where I came back to where I said I think Rockford's special. So where Gabrielle and I met was that at the Illinois Municipal League. And so I was there, and you meet representatives from all over Illinois. And I met your mayor. I went up to him, and now I have two little girls. One of them, and which is why I had to put the Rockford Peaches in the intro. because I went up to him and I said, I don't know if this is cliche. I have a little 9-year-old, loves softball. And when I told her where I was and that you're here, she went, oh my gosh, does he know the Rockford Peaches? And he was smiling ear to ear. And he goes, I'll tell you what, when we get back, email me. So I don't know if you can see the little pinhole in it.
Yeah.
But I have a City of Rockford Peaches thing that is in my daughter's room, little 9-year-old, up on her tack board for it because she was so proud. It's very funny. She's like,
Awesome.
Mayor. So I will say, I believe that the people of Rockford, from that little bit, I got to meet you, I got to meet the mayor, amazing people, amazing hearts with a lot of love to spread. And I think that that's phenomenal. So that's my little story about Rockford that I have, where I said, ooh, this is going to be fun. And I ran into a room and I grabbed it and still got a little thing in there.
After this.
Please do.
I'll let him know. Yeah, that's great.
As we think of 250 years, well, in 50 years, just like your parents' marriage, which is going to be right down the road, we're going to celebrate 300 years. What are your hopes for your community, and what are the hopes for the country by that time?
I asked every panelist the same question, and I said, when I think about it, I want to first think about 50 years ago, 1976. And when we look at it, there's certain fights that we're still fighting from 1976. So when we get to 2076, or better yet, I asked them, when you are in your mid to late 80s, hopefully that's, close to 2076 or whatever, and you are in your happy place, wherever on that porch, the breeze is going through your nice hair, and you're just reminiscing on how things went in your life, what will give you that sigh of relief and that sigh of fulfillment when you think about the advocacy and the leadership he was able to provide to the city? And the biggest thing they all said was they knew that, the fight will continue, but if we could just pivot, just make the issue just pivot towards the good, towards positive, just a bit. That's that arc will just eventually change the way we're going, the trajectory of the ship. And a lot of them, they came in their specifics, what I want to see the Latino community or the veteran community or for young people. But at the end of the day, it was just a simple change. Yeah, we want to change the world. Yeah, we want peace in the Middle East. We want all of that we hear. But sometimes it's just that little click. We just need a pivot. And so that's what I'm hoping for, not just the city of Rockford, but for our nation, especially in the times we're living in. However, history tends to repeat itself. We hated each other, we were good. We hated each other, we were good. I don't know why, but it happens. And so what can we do to sustain the good? To make sure we stay there where we are, pursuing happiness and allowing others to pursue happiness. We're seeking out life, liberty, justice. And so that's what we want to see in 50 years. You can easily say a better economy, that's great. More people to live here, that's great. But we need sustainability of goodness for our community and for our country.
Simple one is, I talked about my kids, and I just simply say, and I think that this is something that could be embraced everywhere. Just be kind. You'd be surprised how much that just be kind. And, I think that if everybody just took that simple approach, we'd be in a very different place. I think that a lot of us have very similar things, but don't take the opportunity to be willing to listen. So I hope
100%.
that they do, because it is all about the pursuit and building the better nation. So I love that. So as we wrap up, is there anything else that I want to talk about Rockford? Do you want to talk about America 250? You want to just say?
I'm really digesting your answer, Representative West, because I think it goes to the heart of the matter, right? Which is, in a lot of ways, to me, I think small is the future. That small means, sometimes you don't always want to be known. Like if you're in a small high school, that can be challenging. But I really do hope that we have more ways to have and protect space designed to enable us to gather and be in conversation. I do think that's the nudge. That's the nudge in the direction, and we have to value and make precious and hold dear those opportunities. And I won't lie, I am very excited about Illinois Voices 250. maybe someone listens back to these conversations like the one you and your community had today. They go to the Library of Congress and they say, wow, they were so right. Wow, that's so different than I imagined it would be. Wow, they were people just like us. They're still working together, So I'm hopeful that part of Illinois America 250 and Illinois Humanities contribution in particular is to make and protect this time capsule so we can have meaningful memory making now, but also a little something for the future.
Love it.
That's all we can say.
I-
Love it.
Love.
Hey, I love love. But I think that's a great way to reflect and to look back on this whole conversation and to think about what little bit that we can do for our neighbors in the future and those around us. So I'll say from all of us at HelloNation, where good news travels faster, thank you for taking the time to do this with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching HelloNation.